All right, guys, how is it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. So the big trending news for today is the announcement of the new Nintendo OLED Switch. So it's been, like over 2 years that we have been getting these rumors that we would be getting a new Nintendo Switch. It was supposed to be a Pro, according to the speculation and rumors. If you've been following the channel, we have been covering that for quite some time, to the point where just a couple of weeks ago, after Nintendo's E3 presentation, I was like, look, let's just stop all the talk about a Switch Pro. It's time for Nintendo to shit or get off the pot, because I was just completely fed up with these Pro rumors. Well, we did end up getting a Nintendo Switch that has a new, bigger OLED screen and a couple of other features, but other than that, there's not much difference between this one and a regular Nintendo Switch. It's definitely not a Switch Pro with 4K capabilities, which, in my opinion, once again proves that Nintendo likes to do Nintendo things. Now, I already know what's going to happen. Everybody that's watching this video that's a Nintendo fan is going to get upset about what I'm fixing to say in regards to my thoughts on Nintendo right now. They're going to probably label this as fake outrage, or label this as me just trying to go with the trend and being a fake gamer and blah, blah, blah. Look, I've been playing video games since I was 4 years old. I have games from when I was a kid as part of my collection. For the longest time, I was Nintendo only. All I ever bought every console generation was a Nintendo console. I didn't have an Xbox OG, an Xbox 360. I didn't have a PS1, 2, or 3. The first PlayStation console I got was the 4. I got that in 2016. The first Xbox console I got was the Xbox One. I also got that in 2016. But up until that point, I was strictly a Nintendo guy. I didn't have modern consoles until 2016. And that's part of why my name was 8-Bit Eric. Some friends at work were asking me every year if I had MLB The Show and if I wanted to jump in and play with them. And I was like, no, I don't. I have a Wii U. And they laughed, and they said, oh my god, Eric, get with the times. You're 8-Bit Eric. All you do is play Nintendo and retro crap. And that name stuck. So that's why I'm 8-Bit Eric. So what does any of this have to do with anything? Well, it's because I'm about to kind of rant about Nintendo. So we had a decent E3 showing. I talked about it. Yeah, we got a bunch of new stuff coming out, things like that. But let's be honest, when it comes to Nintendo, they always have these strong starts with their console launches. We get these amazing, phenomenal, solid console launches with some of these big releases. Like, let's take the Switch, for example. We had a great, first 2 years. We had Breath of the Wild. We had Mario Rabbids. We had, Mario Odyssey. We had a brand new, deluxe version of Mario Kart that's still selling like hotcakes. And we had a few other, games come over that were third-party titles, such as Skyrim and other games on the Switch that, for the most part, I was like, wow, the Switch has a little bit of everything. Minecraft, Mario Kart, Mario games, Zelda games, retro stuff, bundles of franchises, pretty good, solid library. But then, like Nintendo usually does, they start to kind of half-ass things. I liked Mario Golf. It was okay. It was maybe like a 7 in my book, but it was a little underwhelming, to be completely honest. Aside from it having Mario characters in it and goofy little stage hazard and stuff, it was an average game. Then let's look at all the other releases. We've gotten ports of Mario games, ports of Zelda games come in. Mario Kart Home Circuit was fun while it lasted. I played it for a week or two, and then I got over the novelty of making my own racetrack and playing with an AR camera. Animal Crossing, yeah, it was good. Burnt myself out on it, but let's look at the picture here. There's a lot of stuff that Nintendo still doesn't have ready. If you watched my E3 video, I talked about where's Bayonetta 3? That was announced over 3 years ago. Where's Metroid Prime 4? It seems like that's probably never going to come out. Where's Breath of the Wild 2? All we've seen so far is just a very brief little teaser that seemed to be more of a cinematic cutscene than actual gameplay. There was a little bit of gameplay there, but let's be real. What have we seen for the 3 years or so for any of those heavy hitting games that we've been waiting on? It's almost a little concerning. I know we got the pandemic that happened and it held a lot of things back and probably ruined a lot of Nintendo's release plans, but I mean, let's be real here. What was the excuse for all the previous other consoles? The N64 started off with a bang, had some solid titles, had a solid good first like 2-3 years, and then it fizzled out towards the end, and Nintendo kind of really didn't care about it anymore, and it kind of just fell behind from the other two consoles that were out, you know. And then the GameCube came out, had a solid release, but now I think in regards to the Nintendo Switch, everybody wanted a Pro to come out. The Switch Pro, I felt, was like, okay, Nintendo needs to do something so they can at least have a little bit of a lifespan left with whatever they're going to do with their Switch. I wasn't wanting like a full-on next-gen console, like for Nintendo to just scrap the Switch. I was more wanting like an upgrade, like, you know, like a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X or something that has a little bit more powerful, you know, computer and GPU, CPU stuff inside of it. Something that could play a little bit more graphically demanding games. The OLED screen, it sounds cool, but honestly, if you don't play portably, what good does it do you? You know, and then they didn't solve the biggest problem of all, which is the Joy-Con issue with the Nintendo Switch. This basically has the same Joy-Cons on it. Like, it doesn't solve anything. The Joy-Cons absolutely suck. Other than the screen on this, and I think small little things like the base being able to be, you know, the base, the stand that could come out being a little bit wider, and it maybe being a little bit lighter or a difference in the size. I think it's a little bit longer, and it comes in 2 new colors. Why do I need to upgrade? I get it. There's some people out there that want a better screen. There's a lot of you guys out there that like portability, but for a lot of us that just play docked or already own an original Nintendo Switch, what would I need this upgrade for? Especially for the price of, I think, $350. I'm going to read this article. We're going to take a look at it just to touch base on it. So it's coming out October 8th, if you're not aware, but this has been viral for $350. It's Nintendo's new Switch. So it's going to have a larger 7-inch 720p OLED display. So this is a little disappointing because right here, it says right here, rumors suggested this new Switch would ship with a new NVIDIA chip inside. This new OLED screen model is mostly a screen upgrade. Nintendo lists the Switch OLED model as only supporting 1080p via TV mode, and rumors had suggested 4K support, thanks to a rumored NVIDIA chip upgrade. So, yeah, this is not a Pro model at all. No 4K capability. I have absolutely no reason to upgrade to this Nintendo Switch. I don't play portably. I don't need a newer screen. If it doesn't have higher quality, a better computer, a better chip, to me, it's just a waste of an upgrade. I know there's some people out there that are going to buy it anyway. Good for you. More power to you. But this is an example of Nintendo being Nintendo. They have all the attention on them. Like, everybody's waiting for Nintendo to do something. And they just kind of half-ass it, like always. And it's getting tiring. And it sucks, because I equated it to a toxic relationship. I equated it to an abusive boyfriend that you're just stuck with. I will always support Nintendo. Let's be honest. I'll always buy the stuff. I'll always be there. I'll always try to give them a fair shake. But it's just starting to get a little ridiculous now. Like, they're really not even trying anymore. And I know some people are like, they don't need to try. Just slap Mario on it and put it out there. And it sells like hotcakes because the fanboys buy it up. And I get it. But come on. Yeah, there's that recent rumor that they're going to try to overhaul the Switch Online service and stuff like that, which that's been long over fucking due. But in regards to bringing out a new Switch out here, this isn't enough, in my opinion. I know opinion triggers you guys, but to me, this is a waste. It says, other than the new screen, this revised model includes an adjustable stand for tabletop play, 64 gigabytes of built-in storage, a new dock with a wired Ethernet port built in, improved audio for handheld or tabletop play, which none of that is good for me at all. and it only mentions up to 1080p via HDMI for the TV dock. So the rumored 4K mode isn't part of this Switch. They did confirm to The Verge that there's no major internal changes to the CPU or memory. So it's not different from previous Switch models. So same Joy-Con bullcrap. You know, all the Joy-Con drift issues. No new D-pad. The D-pad on the Switch sucks. I'm starting to think that it's just a way for Nintendo to make you buy Pro controllers. That they're refusing to fix the Joy-Cons at all. So, I don't know. This rumored Nintendo Switch was heavily speculated on for years. I was one of the people that was covering it, so I was just like, I'm fucking done last month. Honestly, this does not surprise me that Nintendo released a new console with next to no reason of any upgrades for me to want it. And I know I'm going to be asked in my live streams, what are my thoughts on this? This is exactly it. To me, pointless. No reason for me to get this upgraded OLED screen Switch, because I don't play portable. I don't play tabletop. It's only 1080p. It has the same types of Joy-Cons. The games are still going to be the same. There's not going to be any kind of graphical improvements. No new NVIDIA chip. It's just a better screen on a Switch. So I'm not getting it. To put a long story short, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one.